The Abolition of Man by C.S. Lewis is broken into three parts: Men Without Chests, The Way, and the Abolition of Man. Men Without Chests. If valued judgments are seen as subjective, one must hope either that some of these judgments are objective, or that none are. The first results in cynical propaganda, which is often rejected on a moral basis. The second means that a rejection of human sense of value, resulting in absolute apathy. The Way. When alternative cultures like Nazism, utilitarianism, and communism try to change common morals in replacement of their own, they actually use a small portion of the common morals from the Tao. Lewis draws his idea of the Tao from all major religions, most likely due to his conversion to theism and later Christianity in 1929. This portion of the traditional values is chosen by the culture and the rest rejected, both for no reason explainable by the specific culture. Through this process, we find that the culture finds some level of traditional morals as true, so they must choose to either accept or reject all of them. When morality is seen as nature, however, modern people will most likely reject it. Nature is to be ruled by humans, therefore humans control natural morality. The Abolition of Man. Many people are devoted to a conquest over nature. Idea of a natural conquest stems most probably from his time spent with J.R.R. Tolkien and Owen Barfield in the beginnings of his career. While advances in technology do benefit from some aspects of mankind, that does not mean that man is controlling nature. Men use this technology and other men to conquer nature, but it is really only exercise of power from one person over another. There neither is nor can be any simple increase of power on man's side. Each new power won by man is a power over man as well. People think that they can increase power over nature and therefore dictate how the next generation will live. But the possibility still remains of the next generation rejecting all tradition and technology produced by the previous generation. The last men, far from being their heirs of power, will be of all men most subject to the dead hand of the great planners and conditioners, and will themselves exercise least power upon the future. This is what complete victory over nature consists of. When the current generation is propagandized to believe exactly what the previous generation wanted. As Lewis stated, we reduce things to mere nature in order that we may conquer them. We are always conquering nature, because nature is the name for what we have to some extent conquered. This trend is seen in families, as parents raise their children to be a certain way. Parents have a duty to pass on knowledge about the Tao, the differences between good and evil. But if scientists with more power exercise this ability, it becomes a problem. When these conditioners exist outside the Tao and show control, they do not pass on knowledge because there is no real duty for them to do so. These conditioners follow their own aspirations and ideas, of which come from nature itself. According to Lewis, it is from heredity, digestion, the weather, and the association of ideas that the motives of the conditioners will spring. Their extreme rationalism, by seeing through all rational motives, leaves them creatures of wholly irrational behavior. They believe that they have conquered nature, but clearly they haven't if nature is still dictating their supposed personal ideas. Every motive they try to act on becomes at once a petition. It is not that they are bad men. They are not men at all. Stepping outside the Tao, they have stepped into the void. Nor are their subjects necessarily unhappy men. They are not men at all. They are artifacts. Man's final conquest is proved to be the abolition of man. Because of this, C.S. Lewis asks for another method of scientific inquiry. He believes that there is something good about science that is found in the Tao, and that hopefully the method can change into asking about how something fits into the big picture rather than just explaining a single mechanism. Even if this new method doesn't come into play, Lewis points out that the scientists must stop somewhere before they explain away their method of explanation and have to start all their hard work over.